Mimi makes.
Hi everyone, my name is Mimi and this is my son
Joseph.
and you're watching
Mimi makes.
Yes, I am back after roughly 3 weeks or 3 to 4 weeks of no posting, and that is because I gave birth to my beautiful daughter Gabriella. This is Gabby. But I am back today with a tutorial. It's a sublimation tutorial on a baby blanket that I made. Yes, a baby blanket that I made for Gabby. It's a monthly pictorial baby blanket. So if you want to learn how to make it, so please keep on watching and don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye! Okay, so here I am in Silhouette Studio Business Edition. This is the design for my blanket. I did this design in Photoshop. The size of the blanket is 30 inches by 30 inches, and so that is the canvas that I used in Photoshop. And I just collected the graphics online. I just googled cute baby animals, and these are what I got, and this is what I designed for the blanket. So after designing the blanket, you're gonna import it into Silhouette Studio. You can either design it yourself or you can probably download a ready-made one. It's totally up to you. And then what you're gonna have to do now is bear in mind the size of the paper that your sublimation printer is gonna use. In my case, I'm using tabloid size, which is 11 inches by 17 inches, and that's this one right here. That's the smaller rectangle that you're seeing here. And I'm gonna click show print border and unclick show cut border, so you only want the print border. So as you can see here, the clouds and the giraffe can hold nicely in the 11 by 17, as well as the lion and the elephant. And then the today I am can also fit, and you can turn it this way. You can turn it vertically. Oh, that was baby Gabby.
Yeah.
Yes, so you can turn it vertically and put the words vertical. And then now I'm gonna take the slice tool and go ahead and just cut or slice the design in parts that will fit on the sublimation paper. And so we're just gonna continue slicing up the design so that we have our individual parts that we're gonna print separately. Oh, you're also gonna want to bear in mind that along with the size of the sublimation paper, you're also gonna have to consider the size of your, or the work size of your heat press. For example, in my situation, my sublimation paper is 11 by 17 and the work size of my heat press is 15 by 15. So the paper is actually longer than the working area of my heat press. In some cases that's okay. I've seen others that have done prints that is bigger than their heat press size, and all you have to do is really just press the design in parts. I don't like to do that because sometimes when you press and then there's an overlap in the pressing, that overlapped part will actually show up a little bit brighter than the rest of the design. So you're gonna see where your heat press overlapped. Basically what happens is that your heat press is repressing a certain area of the design onto your fabric, so that is why it's gonna show up brighter. Okay, so that's why I don't like to do that. All right, but here, as you can see, I did the today I am, the months, and the sun all on one sublimation paper, and that is fine because we're gonna cut the paper later when we're lining up the design onto the blanket to prepare for pressing. So that's fine. I just did that to save on paper. And also, do you see that little green leaf on the design? I am not gonna print that. That is actually gonna be a cut file. I'm gonna cut out that little leaf in cardstock. Well, I actually haven't made up my mind yet if I'm gonna use cardstock or felt. I might use cardstock though because I don't have green felt at the moment, but I do have green cardstock, so that might be what I'm gonna use. That green leaf is to mark the month that my baby is gonna be for that particular photo shoot. So if she is 1 month old, then the leaf is gonna be on the number 1, and etc. Okay, now to work on that green leaf as a cut file, we're gonna go ahead and select the tracing tool and adjust the settings here of the threshold and select trace, and then delete all of this, and you're left with the traced line of the leaf, and just double click that and click simplify. And let's just go ahead and give this a color so that we can grab hold of it a lot easier. There we go. And that is it for that particular cut file. So again, remember, please, we're not going to print this leaf. We're gonna cut it on cardstock, but we're not doing that today. We're gonna concentrate on the sublimation aspect. Alright, and now here are all of your sublimation parts. Now I forgot to do it here, but you're gonna need to flip or mirror all of these sublimation parts because you want to print in the flipped image. Okay, don't forget that. Okay, so this is the blanket that I'm gonna be printing on, and I'm just taking a lint roller and removing any loose thread or dirt on the blanket because we don't want to be printing on a dirty surface. So I'm just preparing the blanket for printing. This is essential, guys, because if there is any loose thread and you end up printing on top of that loose thread when it's washed and the thread is gone, it's gonna show a white spot where the thread was. So ensure that your blanket is clean. Alright, so what I'm doing here are the words, the today I am and the months and the sun, and I'm just cutting those out to stick them onto the blankets in their rightful spot. So remember when I put all of them in one paper, so I'm cutting that up now. So before I actually do any pressing, I am taking the printed parts and I'm just placing them roughly onto the blanket just to make sure if that everything fits and if I need to make any further adjustments. So after roughly placing the prints, I decided to find the center of the blanket to make sure that all the designs are centered. So I folded the blanket in half and then I took the Today I Am and folded that in half as well so that it's centered on the blanket. And so I taped that in, I pressed it, and here it is. So my settings for pressing is 400 degrees Fahrenheit at 30 seconds. And so what I did is that I pressed the individual parts. So I started with the Today I Am and then I placed the cloud and the giraffe and I pressed that separately, and now I'm pressing the lion and the elephant. And then I'm gonna press the rest of the design onto the blanket. Now the blanket material is a fluffy material, so once it's pressed it's gonna lay everything flat, and don't worry, after you wash it and it's dried, everything will be fine. And this is the final result. So that's it, you guys. So thanks again so much for watching, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Bye.